Hey everybody, how you doing? Good evening. It's a wonderful October evening here on the Coach Love Show. October represents a lot of things. One of them is breast cancer awareness, and the other is mental health awareness. So you know what? Why not just blend all of those together and take this journey? Because I have to tell you, anytime you are wrestling with an illness, physically, you are definitely wrestling with that mentally. Earlier this month, we had a beautiful woman on, uh, and she had her son with her. Her name is Anastasia Stevens. She's a wonderful woman. She is a beautiful mother. She is an author, and she's actually very gorgeous. I can't wait to bring her up. Hi, Anastasia. How are you doing? Take yourself off mute, darling. There you
Okay.
go. You're
How are
fine.
you?
I'm wonderful. Wait a minute. I'm loving this, this little, shirt. You got it.
It's
Hey,
small but cute.
there you go. There you go. How has things been since the last time we chatted?
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful and busy, right? Life
Beautiful
continues
and
to
busy.
evolve and grow. And we've been asked on a couple of additional podcasts, myself and CJ. So it's been amazing. It's been good.
Uh-huh. How's my buddy doing anyway? How's he doing?
He's good. He's good. He's getting ready for bed. School's in the morning.
I got it. I heard that they showed his interview in class.
They did. He was nervous and excited. I call it nervous skited, right? He
There
has
you go.
friends.
You know what? See, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah,
Um,
it was interesting to see his perspective with his friends watching him on TV and kind of taking it in. So it was good.
that's excellent. That's excellent. So, you and I, first of all, let me just thank you because you did something for my mother. Um, she has a huge scar on her chest. Um, and she had been sad about it. She had been nervous about it. And just hearing your story made her want to show you her scar. I have to tell you, she had been talking about that scar every day, and she had been so sad about her scar. Do you know, after she talked to you, she has not mentioned it in a negative light once?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
She's
not
beautiful.
once.
She's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. But she wanted so much. She wanted so much to show it to you. And I had told her that that scar was beautiful to me, I don't know,
Yeah.
100 times over and over again. But it wasn't until she got to hear from someone who had scars of their own
Mm-hmm.
did she
Mm-hmm.
feel okay. It was that mental block. It was in her heart and it was in her mind. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
No, the pleasure was mine. She's beautiful. It's a pleasure to just love on our mothers, right? So often we take them for granted, and I think it was a blessing to me to just love on her in that way, and for her to allow me to love on her in that way. So that was
Girl,
good. So
didn't
thank
she
you.
eat it up? She ate it
Yeah.
up. She did. She ate it up. And so you told me about your crew. You told me
Yeah.
your crew was Trump tight. Okay.
Yes. 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 I got some bad sisters in my camp.
All right. Okay. That sounds good. And so you brought a couple of your friends here with
Yes.
us. Who did you bring today?
I brought several with us. So I have Kenisha Anthony. Kenisha is an entrepreneur extraordinaire. She is the author of Scarless. She's talked about her journey with just surviving the things that she's been through as a woman, as a mom, as a wife, and just living life in a different way. She's also the founder of the Encouragement Company, which specializes in just giving out and showing love in different specialized ways to those who just need a little encouragement. So I brought Kenisha with me. She's my sister, my amazing sister. And then I brought
Okay.
Karen.
Wait.
Okay.
Kanisha, take yourself off mute, girlfriend.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. So the word on the street is that you like empowering people.
I do. That's my thing. I love giving other women encouragement. Yes.
Okay, tell us a little bit more about what you do and how you're doing it.
So my company is called the Encouragement Company, and I've started it off because just growing up, I always felt the need of having a little bit more encouragement in my life. And so it started off with just, I think I started with candles at first, sending out candles with like, girl, you're amazing, or whatever was on it. And then I started with boxes and then eventually went to t-shirts and everything. And so people will come and they'll buy something and they'll send it to a loved one that might just need encouragement at the moment.
Okay, well that's cool. That's cool. And how does your company relate to breast cancer or cancer period?
So we've had several women that have had cancer. So sometimes I think that when someone's going through something, they don't exactly know what to say. So with the encouragement company, I put the words together. So if someone has cancer at the moment, like I've had several people order boxes saying, how do I encourage this person at the moment? And so I'll
Mm-hmm.
send a box to them, just giving them like, just a little encouragement, telling them it'll be okay.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. Now, Anastasia, you brought somebody else up in the camp. Who do you have for me?
Yes, Miss Karen is riding with me tonight. She is also a breast cancer survivor. Woo woo. Karen has pulled together a company as well. She's established herself with lotions and scrubs specialized to women who have gone through radiation and healing their burns. Karen is also the author of a brand new journal that's dropping very soon. I'm super proud of her for pushing that out. Just going through and keeping track of dates, right? Remembering what happened in doctor's appointments, having calendars and all that good kind of stuff. So Karen saved me in Texas when I was going through my radiation with my lotion, and I have been buying that lotion ever since. And she's
Okay.
just been amazing for us. Hey, Karen.
Hi, everyone. How are you doing?
Hey, Karen. So, this amazing lotion that you have, what does it do, and how did you come up with it?
Well, I came up with it when I was going through radiation, and I had severe burns. I had like 2-degree burns on my skin, and it was just so painful. And nothing they were giving me, the Aquaphor or whatever they was telling me to use, just was not working. So I was in Whole Foods, and I started reading up on different oils, and so I started combining the oils together, and that's how I formulated the product. And so it started healing my skin. And then what I started doing was just giving it out to others that were going through radiation. My mother was diagnosed with with breast cancer, and while she was going through radiation, her skin did not break. It tanned. It will
Mm.
tan, but it didn't break. And so I went to meet with her doctor, and her doctor said, I don't know what you do for a living, but I've seen a lot of things that work, but not as well as this. So from that's when my journey started, because I really wasn't trying to go into business. I was just trying to make sure no one experienced the same type of pain that I did during my radiation treatment.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for that. And I really appreciate what you shared. You know what? I have a thing for mothers. I have a thing for mothers, girls, because um, in a way, after a while, mothers become like our daughters. And we don't want anything to happen to them, and their skin it gets so thin and they get a little bit weaker. They're just not the robust woman that we remember them once being, and so you become like a lioness.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, over your mom. You get real serious about anybody messing with your mama. Wait, I'm off. But listen, don't mess with my man, my money, or my kids. What? No, my man, my mama, my money, my kids. There you go. There you go. That's the one. That's the one. All right. And you have one more person,
Yeah.
Anastasia. Who
I
else? Who
brought
else did you bring?
Nikki Brooks with me as well. Nikki is a survivor of things. She is a loving wife and mom. She has done the gamut. She serves with her whole heart. And it's just amazing force to be reckoned with. She is my sister. She is the one that prays with me, for me, and around me, right? She is my prayer warrior. So I had to bring my sister on too.
That's beautiful. Nikki, do me a favor. Turn, you have your phone. I think you're on your phone. You have it long ways like this. Do me a favor and turn it horizontal like that. She says she can't hear?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, that's bad.
Uh-oh.
That's bad because it's your turn to talk, child. But we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you. Work on that for us. Nope, we can't hear you. All right. So the first question on deck is about the mental health part. No, hold on. I need to stop myself because I want to show this image, the image of that was on the card. Here we go, girls. Now look at this. For me, this says a lot about where we are and what we're doing because it is true while you're in breast, while you're in this moment, you may have a good time, you may have your girls and all of that, but it's also very true that you might end up with some deep scars. Some deep scars. And those scars where her breasts have been removed, that's not like just on the outside. Those scars are on the inside. Those scars are on the inside. Who helped you with your scars that were on the inside?
For me, it was everybody.
Okay,
Because
okay.
everybody had a piece of the situation, right? I think pivotal moments were several, right? When I think about my entire journey. So before I had my scars and I was just going through chemo, Kenisha came in when I had to shave my hair off.
Mm-hmm.
And we know women in our hair and what it means to us and how we can sometimes tie ourselves to that thing. But she was the first person to tell me that I was beautiful without my hair. That was a moment, right? And so that it stuck and it sticks. And she's just been that pillar to me. And then I had Karen when I was, like I mentioned, when I was in Texas and literally burning underneath my shirt because I had started radiation. My scars were there now, didn't have any
Mm-hmm.
nipples or anything like that anymore. And she took me to the side and she said, I got you. It's okay. It's all right. And she gets it. She understood from the fact that she was a survivor. She is a survivor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's those pivotal moments that continue to keep us kind of going. Karen actually started not too long ago a Zoom call with us two and two other survivors where we can just talk about anything. We started gardening on calls and everything as just a way for us to connect and also share where we were in our journeys. Right? We encourage one another, we support and uplift one another, and just push each other through. And the loving part about all of these women is that I can be my full authentic self, whether I am a crying, blubbering mess, where I am angry, confused, and frustrated, or whether I am truly giving praise and we can give praise together.
Did anybody warn you that your nipples were going to be gone?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you know that prior to um, having breast cancer?
No.
I would say for me, do you know who Dr. Jackie is?
I do. Of course I do. She's one of the
Okay,
people
okay.
I want.
All right. So honestly, it was her sharing her journey of breast cancer who made me know that your nipples go away. I had no idea. And I felt surprised and a little bit ashamed that I did not know that you lose your nipples.
It's not always the case. It depends on the surgery, the surgeon, and the treatment plan, right? Because my cancer was so close to my areola nipple, there was no reason for me to keep it. And because I was taking one away, it made no sense to keep the other one. So we just took them both.
Okay. And then some people you have reconstructive surgery, but then the sensitivity is not the same, right?
Yeah, I'm numb. I feel nothing in that area.
Okay. And so for me, you know what? That's a big deal because that is a intimate part of your body. where you use that to mate. You use
Yeah.
that to be you use that to create romantic intimacy,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? And so I find that is a mental and emotional hit to me, you
Very much.
know? So your it's a your sensuality um is disturbed there. And I'm not sure how do you talk about that with your girlfriends or your man? What do you say?
Anybody else want to take that?
I'm having a hard time hearing you, ladies.
Uh-oh.
Goodness, I'm sorry about that. But the question was about the sensuality with your mate. How do you talk about the fact that you do not have any sensation there? That area of romance is gone because that's a part of your body that's not just yours.
Yeah. That was a it was I wouldn't say it was a difficult conversation with me and Corey. It was just the conversation that needed to be we needed to have that transparent moment. Um
Hmm.
and so it was before surgery, and it's like any other woman, right? You wonder what you're gonna feel like afterwards. You wonder if he's gonna love me the same, will he leave me? All those things. And I did ask those questions. I gave
Hmm.
him the option to be out, and he told me he wasn't leaving. So we were very transparent, right? And then when we dug into post everything, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I hate it, he's the first person to tell me he loves it. So
Oh,
yeah.
oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. You know what? Your relationship with your husband is remarkable. You got a
Mm-hmm.
man of
Yeah.
all time.
Come on now, we still got some work to do. It's not work. It's not perfect, but
Well, you want to know what? It's not about perfect.
yeah,
Because if you're waiting
yeah,
for perfect, then you might as
yeah,
well keep pushing. Perfect's
yeah.
not coming.
Exactly.
Per- Perfect's not coming except for in the form of the Lord and Savior. And by
Right.
then, we just we going somewhere else. Then we won't be worried
That's
about.
right.
We won't be
That's
worried about the things on this of this life. But I'm impressed with your husband. I'm just very impressed with his responses to you. But
yeah,
can you imagine dating? Can you imagine? Because that's just a man's go-to area,
yeah,
with a woman in intimacy. Okay, they go for the breast, they go for the areolas, they go for the nipples. I mean, men actually um talk about that specific thing.
yeah.
Okay. So, as a woman and you're not married, I'm imagining the attack on the, on the heart. Um, how vulnerable a person must feel when they have to have that conversation. Is everybody married? Is everybody married?
Yes, I'm married.
Okay, everybody. Karen, you're married.
I don't think Karen can hear.
Okay, Karen can't hear. Let me see. Nikki, you're just coming on, but the question on the table is: are you married or single?
I'm married.
You're married. Okay,
Yes.
so everybody here had to have a conversation with a husband. I am imagining having to have a conversation with like somebody that you're just now dating, or boyfriend level.
So I'll kind of answer the question. I'm not a breast cancer survivor. I'm actually a burn survivor. So I have
Okay.
scars all over my body. And when I
Okay.
met my husband, we were dating, and it was different at the time. Like, I was scared that he wasn't going to like, if I took this off, if he was going to act weird with my scars. It was definitely a scary, weird thing to go through. Definitely.
Okay. And are your scars in a romantic place or no?
Yeah, my scars are all over my body.
Okay. And I'm just how did that happen to you?
So I was actually in a house fire when I was 4 years old.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. This has been a part of you since you knew you. It's a part of your personal identity.
Hmm.
So you
Yeah,
don't know your body without those scars.
correct.
Okay. Do you think that has made you feel more confident?
I think for myself, yeah. I think the way that my husband was able to accept me for the way that I am, it definitely made me feel more confident as a woman. Yes.
Okay. That is beautiful. That is
Yeah.
beautiful. So was there your scars are all over your body. What did you say to him? What did you say?
Um, I I think the most difficult moment, and Stacy had mentioned with her hair. I think the most difficult moment was me not having any hair, and him realizing that I wore wigs. And so when we got into that conversation, I'm just like, "Hey, I have to wear wigs because I don't have any hair," and I was like closing my eyes, like I didn't know how he was going to respond, but he was like, "Oh, okay, I love you just the way you are." So
Aww. That's sweet.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, that is sweet. You know what? I need somebody to drop down in the link where y'all shop for men. What is it? www.sweetman.com. Because y'all not shopping for your all men on Amazon. Oh my gosh. Um, they say that he said one of his name is TD. He's actually our researcher. He said you never would have guessed that you were wearing a wig.
Oh wow. Well, thank you.
So it's looking good.
Thank
Wait a minute, and here's another one. I'm glad to hear that the men in your sister's lives support you. Thank you. That's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. I have to say, I'm very impressed. So, did you find these men at church? Seriously, where did you find these men?
Here we go with that question. So I found Corey found me. Corey, Corey found me on myspace.com.
MySpace.
On my face.
My,
Showing our age. Showing our age.
okay, so
They didn't catch
my,
that. They didn't catch that.
well, I said MySpace. Look, they've been married a long time. Okay, got it, got it. Kenisha, where did you find your man?
So my husband is actually a burn survivor as well. He has
Oh,
scars on his leg. So we actually met at a camp for burn survivors when we were children. Yeah.
oh,
Oh, wow.
that's sweet. Oh my goodness. Okay, got it, got it, got it. Karen, where did you find your man?
Well, Karen doesn't have a man right now. But when I was going through radiation, I was dating this guy. I had been dating him for 15 years. And, and things changed. I don't think he could
Mhm.
handle the part of me going through the chemo,
Uh-huh.
sitting in the room with me. But I had a lot of other men and women's husbands that stepped up to the plate and supported me. So I wasn't as lucky as these young ladies, but I did have a support system behind me. And everybody can't handle things the same way. So there's the good side and the ugly side to it.
So Karen, hold tight because I'm going to come back to you. Nikki, where did you find your
Okay.
man?
Well, my mom, she did braids, okay? And so she was doing a young lady's hair and she was dating a guy and the guy came over to our house and I wanted some Subway. And so my mom was like, I'm not taking you. I'm going to be doing hair all day. So I asked the guy, I said, hey, ask your friend if he can take me. And he was like, you go ask him. So me being me, I'm bold. Like Stacey was telling you before the podcast interrupted. So I went out there and I said, hey, can you take me to Subway? And the rest was history. He asked for my number, and that was that.
All right. So be hungry. That's all. Be hungry, be bold.
And go for it. That's right.
Yes,
Go
absolutely.
go for what you know.
Yes.
All right. In all seriousness, you guys sound like you just have some great guys, and I like hearing romantic stories. So there we go. Karen, the reason why I said I wanted to come back to you because earlier I asked a question about dating. Dating when you are
Uh-huh.
in this circumstance, right? Um, do you feel sexy enough to date?
I do. Yeah, I do.
So your confidence is high.
I feel very sexy. Yeah, my
All right,
confidence is high. I
Nick.
didn't have
Okay,
a,
girl.
Gonna
I
walk
had
in
a,
the room, know
I,
her walking in the room. You gonna see
yeah,
Karen at the
you
end of the
know,
day. Okay.
some things work better than others, after.
Oh, oh
That's
really?
TMI,
What
but
is that?
anyway. I don't, you get real creative and you learn to use what you have. I let me put it like that.
Okay,
You use
okay,
all parts of your body and you don't take things for granted, you know?
Mm.
And I mean,
What
okay,
you have to really love your body
okay.
and you really have to learn what those points are. And, once you know how to make yourself feel good, you can teach somebody to make you feel good.
All right. You want to know what? If you don't know, now you know.
now you know.
Now you know.
Yeah.
We were talking about nipples. Do you still have your nipples or don't you have your nipples?
Yes, I fought for my nipples. I fought for
No,
them. I,
no.
I kept my breath.
Oh, you fought for your nipples.
I did.
Okay. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
because I
So,
had I had I had 4 surgeries to
okay.
try to get a clear margin in my breast, and I
Okay.
refused to let it go. I just told him, and he said, "Okay, Miss Lindsay, the next surgery, if we don't get a clear margin, we're taking your breast."
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Has anybody had their breast completely removed?
So I had a complete mastectomy, but I got implants post surgery.
Okay. Okay. And when they do that, do they automatically take your nipples or can they take all the breast tissue out and leave something, or how does that work?
I think Karen's story is a little bit it's in that realm. She actually was more she was a better advocate for herself than I believe that I could have been.
Okay.
Our journeys were different in that way. When she told me how close the cancer was to my nipple, I was just in the mindset of just take it, just be done.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Karen's story is a little bit different.
So you can, let's just empower some women right now. You can fight. You
You
do
are
not.
your own best advocate. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
can fight for you like you can fight for you. And if you are not comfortable, if your doctor is not accepting, if you have any red flags with your doctor, fire them and find you a better doctor. There are too many worldwide, world class breast surgeons, oncologists for you to settle for something that you do not feel comfortable, do not feel sufficient, do not feel empowered in those waiting rooms.
It's going to make you feel. It's going to make you feel like you just want to get it over with. Sometimes, right?
Sometimes, absolutely.
It's going to make you feel depressed.
Definitely.
You're not going to feel like yourself. Even some of the medication that you get changes. How you show up in the world.
Definitely.
Okay. So you might be your own best advocate, but what if you're not a Karen? You know, because Karen was like, I'm keeping mine, right? What if you are not that person? What qualities do you want to identify in, your squad in order to have somebody fight for you?
Yeah, I think so I had different people that would rotate with me, right?
Okay.
Corey would come when, he could come. I had a girlfriend Zundra that would come, take notes, ask powerful questions. My girlfriend Brandy would come and ask powerful questions. I would come back and have conversations with other survivors that would arm me with questions so that I could write those questions down and take them back. And then you just had a couple of folks like Nikki and Kenisha, right, that are just in my back pocket, letting me cry or praying over me and for me.
Mhm. Mhm. Now, I asked you earlier how you met each one of these girls. Some of them you met on your journey, and some of them you met beforehand. Who were you rocking
Yeah,
with beforehand?
Nikki and Kenisha.
Nikki and Kenisha, you were rocking with them beforehand, and then you met Karen on your journey. I found how unusual is it for both Nikki and you to both be breast cancer survivors? How unusual is that? Because you guys,
Nikki
you're buddies.
Nikki is not a breast cancer survivor. She is
Oh,
not.
you're not. You're not a Nikki. You know what? We didn't get to hear about you. Tell us about you, Miss Nikki.
Okay, so I am a mommy of four. So basically, you just want to know my story, right?
Yes, tell us.
Okay. Okay. So, no, let me rewind then. I'm a mom of six. Okay.
Okay.
So, my husband has two older children. So, the ages are 24, 21.
Mm-hmm.
And in our home, we have four: a 16-year-old, a 12-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 4-year-old. Okay. And so, my husband, he was in the Lloyd Lane Box Company explosion. I don't know if you guys
Mm-hmm.
heard about that, but it happened in 2017. And
Okay.
Stacy was there for me during that season, and a time where during that season I lost my mom. And
Mm.
she was in the middle of her journey, like she was going through chemo. And I never forget my husband, he had just had like his fifth surgery. He's had 12 surgeries. Um, and I never forget during that time, Stacy came over to my house. I had just lost my mom, and she was not supposed to be out. And she came over and was like, "I don't care. I'm bringing you something to eat." You can tell she was weak. You can tell that, she was just pushing through, but she made it and she was there for me. And so I've been there for her ever since. So, yeah.
Wow. Wow. That is, you know what? You go, girl. You are a good friend. You are a good friend. Now, this was this during your diagnosis or was it after your diagnosis?
I had been diagnosed,
Yeah.
and I had started chemo. And in the midst of chemo, Nikki, she's an amazing mom. She's an amazing wife. She is an amazing friend. And so her losing her mom, we just talked about moms. You don't mess with our moms, right? And
Right.
her losing her
Mhm.
mom, that struck a chord with me. I could not be there for her. I had to be there for. I needed to show up for her because she has the heart that shows up for everybody else in the
Mm-hmm.
midst of any and everything, right? She's the one that pops up at your door with cupcakes for your kids. She's the one that, we can be on the phone and I just say, Nikki, I'm not feeling good. Okay, sis, let's pray. That's Nikki, right? And so I could not show up for her no matter what affliction I had going on.
And
That's
she
cute.
not only showed up, honey, okay? She showed up with a big bag, honey, and Long John Silver's. I mean, she had mashed potato, coleslaw, every side that they had. And I was like, Stacy, what are you doing? She was like, her, I'm bringing you food. That's what I'm doing. She gave me a hug. Okay. And you can just
Oh,
tell that she was weak, but she pushed through with resilience for her sister. And that's why no matter what, I'm always be there for her. That's my sister. I love her. And yeah, she's a fighter. She said, nope, I'm not letting cancer or nothing else stop me from being there for my sister. And she showed up for me.
you know
So
what? Yes, I know you needed that. I know you needed that
I did.
because to lose your mother, it hurts your identity.
Yeah.
It
Hmm.
hurts your identity, and so it's like feeling around in the dark for who you are in this new sense. You haven't played that role yet.
Yeah.
Um, it's like instantly becoming the matriarch.
Yeah, absolutely.
No one, you are who you are looking to for the answers, at least on this earth. Of course, we all look to God, but
Mhm.
it's something special about having somebody to reflect identity back to you in your eyes. That's just huge.
Absolutely.
Um, Seriously. So I want to know from each of you who let you down and then how did you deal with it?
Mm.
Okay. Um, Karen, I'm going to start with you. Who let you down?
Well, I really wasn't let down. It just I wasn't encouraged and I wasn't supported the way I was supposed to be from my boyfriend at the time. But other
Mm-hmm.
than that, I got past it, and I had a good support group. My friends were just awesome. My family was awesome, and everybody just stepped in. You see, the thing is, God would move people out of your way that don't belong there and bring you the
Mm-hmm.
folks that need to be there. So we're always looking for help from the wrong people that we think supposed to help us. But the people that's supposed to show up on time are going to be there on time and help you and support you through it. And so I can't complain. Um,
Mm-hmm.
every appointment I had to go to, at first I was trying to go by myself. And like I said, the men stepped in and said, "You're not going to your appointment by yourself. Somebody's going to be taking you." I had good friends that from my lesson going to my appointments realized that they should be going to their wife's appointments with them because you just never know what you're going to find out and how detailed or how emotional a person is going to be. Because when I found out that I had cancer, I went to my appointment by myself, and the
Mm-hmm.
doctor told me, he said, "Well, I've been looking for you we've been trying to reach you for 2 weeks." And so when they gave me the bad news, I sat out in the parking lot for for about an hour and cried. But other than that, I mean, I was let down for a second, and God took care of the rest. So my journey, I had a
And
good
I'm,
journey, even though I didn't want to be in this class. I was in it.
you know what? I definitely received that. One of the reasons why I pull women together, I pull people together, period, is so that we could um, show our wounds and our scars so it'll help somebody. It's almost like Braille. When somebody else gets there, they know that they are going to be okay. I'll tell you a story that happened, and it has nothing to do with cancer. It just has to do a time when I was lost and I was hurt. Um, as a matter of fact, I had lost something that was important to me. I was pulled over on the side of the road, um, and this is going to sound silly, but I had lost my earring. But I lost my earring. It was a earring that was valuable emotionally to me, and so it was important enough to me where I pulled over on the side of the road and was looking for it, desperately looking for this earring. Now, upon me came somebody who um, was close to me, and they pulled over enough to just say, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm looking for my earring." Okay, now let me ask you, if I told you that I was looking for something and I was pulled over on the side of the road, what would you do?
Help look.
Get out the
Can
car and help you.
Help
yeah.
look.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah.
It's like the universal thing. You get up and get out and help me look. Girls, said person was nosy enough to stop, but not caring enough to get out. They, girls, if they didn't keep, girl, please, girl, please. And so those are just really defining moments. Some people you cannot necessarily, um, you don't, you can't get rid of them in your lives because of who they are in your life. But at the same time, baby,
Yeah.
I agree.
I see you.
Hmm.
I see you. Okay. I'm not mad. I just understand who you are.
That's right.
And so that's what I mean by disappointing you. It's not that I found my earring, girls, but okay, it's it's not that I could not do that by myself. Um, it's just that if you're there, you should
Yeah.
participate. And let's pretend like this person was in the biggest rush, whatever. At no point Did they even ever call me back? Hey, girl. I'm sorry I couldn't stop. I had to pick up da 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 da, but I just wanted to know, did you find your earring? And I wanted to check to make sure that you got it back in your car. Oh, there was no follow up or nothing left me. And my mind went, duly noted.
Yeah.
Du- duly noted. And so I love it when people exceed your expectations, but I think it is important for us to figure out how to hold our hearts in such a way and how to create appropriate boundaries for people, so that we do not get hurt. And I think when you have a illness, that is a place where people start identifying themselves.
Yeah.
You know, I may have been on the side of the road in a vulnerable situation, but in that moment, God allowed that person to be identified to me. And so that is what I'm asking you girls. Uh, she calls her Stacy. I'm calling her Stacy. Stacy identified herself to Nikki by pulling herself together, even though she was sick. Okay. I want to know who did not live up to the role that they had in their life, in your life. That's what I'm asking.
Okay, so I can try to start answering that question. I think for me, um, since I was so young at the age or at the time of my incident, um, some of my family members would try to cover my scars up,
Mm,
because they didn't want other people to see that. And that's not what I needed. I needed someone to say, hey, let's embrace your scars, okay? Let's
mhm.
show your scars. It's okay if you have them. I didn't need someone trying to make me wear something from head to toe, covering everything so
Mm.
that I didn't have to show someone else. So I did have a quite a few family. I mean, I had a great support system, but I did remember some family members that did let me down with that. So
Okay, so that is really important because that is teaching us what not to do. You
mhm.
know, you didn't want someone to cover you up. How old were you when you started wearing wigs?
First grade.
Okay,
Great.
and how did that feel for you?
It felt weird. It was different. I was young. I had no idea what wigs were. I started going to school without a wig, with just a hat, and kids would pick on me for that. So I started wearing wigs, and it was uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can only imagine. What would you have if you had a daughter that was in your exact situation? What would you do for her?
Oh, I'm a do what I had did for Stacy at the moment. Like when Stacy found out she had to cut her hair off, knowing that I didn't have any hair on my head. I'm over there. I'm taking my wig off. Okay, I'm here with you. I'm not going through cancer, but I have this identity with you. Okay, so I'm going to sit here. I'm going to cry with you, and we just going to be here, bald headed, and everything else, girl. I would sit there with her and experience that with her.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, Stacey, who let you down?
Like Kenisha, it's usually family, right?
Mm-hmm.
The family that you thought were your ride or dies, your A1s from day one.
Uh-oh, A1 from day one.
A1 from day one. But and we talked about it a little bit last time. Having that level of expectation of people usually sets you up for disappointment. When you
Mm-hmm.
expect someone to deal with something that you yourself have a hard time dealing with. So I won't
Mm-hmm.
even say that it was intentional. I will say that maybe they couldn't deal with the reality of what might happen. Right? They had
Mm-hmm.
in their mind already written the end of the story, and the story hadn't
Mm.
even begun. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So my letdown was merely feelings of I want you to be here with me. I want you to sit in the trenches with me. but they couldn't.
Mhm. Mhm. And so some people are not equipped to be with you on that journey.
That's
It's
right.
not necessary. You know what? My situation, okay, the person should have definitely got out of the car.
Yeah.
Okay. But in a health crisis like that, some people are just not equipped. They are not equipped to go on that part of the journey with you. But my question is, do you left them on the rest of your journey after you get it all solved? How do you rock with them after that?
It is what it is.
Uh-oh.
It is what like
Hey.
it is truly. It is what it is.
Oh,
Like you just said, I see you. I see you. And guess what? I accept you for wherever you
mm-hmm.
are, right? Because just like I have a lane, you have a lane. And you can stay,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna love you from here because I'm called to love you at the end of the day. I love you. But I don't
Right.
have to allow you in my space because I see
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I do not allow you in. So basically what you're saying, it's gonna be different because it's
It's gonna
different.
be it's different. I'm different,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think the thing that I think all of us we have in common is it doesn't matter the situation or the affliction, but when you go through something, you tend to grow through it too,
Mm-hmm.
right? You
Mm-hmm.
tend to realize that you're not the same person that you were before in
Mm-hmm.
any of those situations, whether it's having kids, whether it's getting married. And that's why you say, right? A lot of younger women, once you get married, you can't have single friends because they still doing the clubbing thing. Right
Mhm.
now, once
Mm-hmm.
you embrace, like I feel like a wise spirit. Maybe I don't care, and you can correct me. I tend to cling to women that are older than I am because they are
Okay.
mature. They can offer me wisdom in different places, in different spaces. So I love the relationships that I have with my older sisters, right? And like Karen is an older sister to me. She's not she can't be old enough to be a auntie or nothing like that, right? So she's my sister, and Nikki is my sister. These are my chosen sisters, right? You got blood, you
Uh-huh.
got family, but I don't talk to my sisters the way my blood sisters the way that I talk to these ladies. They don't get it.
Okay. Right. I definitely think it's important to connect with people who have the same vibration as you, at a similar vibration. What I mean like that, everybody talks about, the law of attraction, but I think there is a law of vibration that creates your law of attraction. For me, it is very like people talk about, oh, you're not on my level and things of that nature. Someone can be going in the exact same direction as you. So it's not directional, but if you're doing that and you're on two different scales of vibration, is like being in a mall on two different floors.
Yeah.
We are not going to find we can't go together. We can't be in the same place. I'm like, I'm passing Saks and they like, I'm passing Dillard's. I'm like, I don't see that store. You all are going in the same direction, but you're on two different levels of vibration and you just cannot connect.
Yeah, I think the Bible calls it being equally yoked, right?
Yes,
This
yes.
is this is what this is, right? You find people, you have a circle that are we're equally yoked. We have the same alignment, the same mindsets. We believe, we have faith in the same thing. So we can stand together, we can uplift, we can support. We have bad days, right? Who are you gonna call on a bad day? Somebody that's equally yoked, or somebody that's, just because we've been cool, we should continue to talk. No, because that person is gonna tell you to leave. Oh, you girl, you need to leave him. You need to be
Mm-hmm.
done. Where your sisters, your good people gonna be like, Stacey, okay, so what you do, right? What part did you
Mm-hmm.
play in it? And they keep me honest. These are the people that you want. You want the people that is gonna give it to you raw, as well as uplift and inspire.
So I agree with you. At the same time, I just want to be more specific only in this. I went through a big ordeal with my mother, and I mean, it was just life changing for her, life changing for me. My sisters that I've been rocking with, I've been in a women's group. It's a gang of us. Oh, by the way, thank you. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for coming by and sharing your book. That was beautiful. I didn't even get a chance to talk to y'all about that, but I should, thank you for that. But anyway, we've been together for years upon years upon years, births, deaths, losing husbands, and all of these kinds of things. The sisterhood I have with them, you know, uh, it is a come alongside and do life kind of sisterhood. And I would say biblically, we are equally yoked. And they will always give me the factual truth as God has given to them. They will always pray with me. They will always stop what they are doing. I mean, they rock hard. Okay. They rock hard. But at the same time, it is when I say somebody's has the same vibration with you, it's more than just at a time of need,
Hmm.
at a time of peace, at a time of joy, at a time of growth. You
Hmm.
know, I find it so interesting is that um, sometimes you can grow with some people, but but so but those are not the same people who can go with you. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? Am I
It,
saying that right?
Yep.
Okay, so some people are there. They're just like nutrients to your soil. You do some amazing things with them, but then other people they're just growing alongside of you. And I just think we have to talk about mentally nurturing ourselves in those relationships and understanding um, what part people play in our lives and mentally putting our mind around that. And it's all okay. But how do we become okay with it?
yeah, I'm gonna toss this around so because I know a couple of everybody has a different. What I've learned and what I love about my circle is that we all rock with each other, but we all rock with different groups too, right?
Okay.
And an analogy that comes to mind, one that Tyler Perry gave in one of his plays, you got the roots, you got the branches, and you got leaves. We know
That's
leaves
right.
Yeah.
all with the season, right? Branches sometimes need to be pruned, but your roots are what nourish you and what keep you strong, what grows you, right? So you can see the
Yeah.
for you at times.
Well,
Um,
go ahead and give that Tyler Perry give it again. I love that one because I've heard him say that and I really do love it.
it's factual. It's
Yeah.
factual though, and I love it because like when I think of my relationship with Karen, for instance, she has held me accountable for everything that I said I was going to do. She like, so where we at with that book? Or, I thought you was going to get this done. Or have you done that? Or what about the book line? She kept me accountable. But I also kept her accountable to the things that
Yes,
she
she
was supposed
did.
to be doing at the same time, right? And when I think about Nikki, she is family first. She creates moments. She does the things, and I admire that in her, and that she stirs that gift up in me, right? And then Kenisha is she doesn't believe it, but she's an entrepreneur extraordinaire. She has
Okay.
she has goals, she has ambition, and she is bold. She
Yeah.
makes the ask, and everything falls into place. And so from each of these relationships, I'm pulling in different qualities from each, and they inspire and they teach, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing something for them because if I wasn't, they wouldn't have shown up for me tonight, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's the beauty in the relationships that we have, and at the same time, I know that there are certain things that they call on me for,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's just I just need to come sit down, sis. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad that I can create that environment for them. You know what I mean? I don't have to, I realize that I don't have to be the all and be all in our relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
it keeps us all flourishing. What do
Mm-hmm.
y'all think?
I agree.
I
They
totally
just
agree.
They totally agree. I'm going to ask a different question. What are you going through right now where you could use a little help with it?
Me or everybody?
Everybody. I'm going to start with Nikki. Nikki.
What am I going through right now that I can use some help with?
Mm-hmm.
Just like Stacy said, my thing is just being a mom. You know what I mean? Right now, I have a 16-year-old. He's autistic. And I have a 12-year-old. She's in middle school. Okay. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's just trying to have that balance of being a Christian mom, but still.
That's Reagan. That's my guy, baby.
Yes. Sorry, guys. I'm going to ignore it. Okay. Being a Christian mom, but still having that balance and allowing my daughter to grow without allowing my past to get in the way. You understand what I'm saying? I've been through a lot in my past. And so sometimes that kind of, it just kind of blinds my view and how I parent, if you will. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be so overbearing. And to give you an example, like, I took her to Fright Fest Friday, okay? And so she has a friend who's in the lifestyle. We met up with a young lady, and the young lady has a friend who's in the lifestyle. And so for me, I don't want her hanging around people like that, but I feel like you have to have a balance. You know what I mean? Because
what is the lifestyle?
Okay, so I'm sorry. She's homosexual. Okay.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Homosexual, yes. And so we love people who are lesbians, right, or gay, or whatever, if you will, homosexual, however you want to call it. We love people like that, and I want to teach my kids to love her, but I just want to make sure that she don't become that type of person. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just having balance as a mother. So that's the thing that I'm dealing with at this moment. Yeah.
Do you think that you could prevent her from becoming homosexual?
Say it again.
Do you think you can prevent her from becoming homosexual?
I don't think I can prevent her, but I think I can have an influence on what she do while she's in my house. I do know that when she grows up, she do outside of my house, it's on her and what she wants to do. You understand what I'm saying? I have no control over what she does when she get out of my house. But for me, I just want to have that good balance because I don't want to push her away. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to be overbearing as a parent. And so I think that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, because I haven't said anything to her about that yet. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to find out how to have conversations with her to allow her to still be her without, shutting me out or lying about friends that she has, because I don't want her hanging around certain people. Because I do realize that at the end of the day, maybe this little girl needs to be around her. You know what I mean? Maybe she needs to see somebody that's different than what she's doing.
I'm looking for the right way to phrase this question. But I guess what I'm wondering is, how old is your daughter in the first place?
12.
She's 12. So I was kind of wondering why we were thinking about sex, but your daughter is not necessarily a young person. She is a I don't know. What's that, preteen? She's a preteen. So she is coming into her sexuality. Well, you're going to have to talk about a lot more than homosexuality, girl. Look, you're going to have to talk about the birds, the bees, the trees.
And so we've had that conversation.
All of that.
Yes, we've had that conversation. It's just that part, and again, I want her to love this young lady. It's just trying to figure out like how to balance, you know what I mean, the conversation. Like, what should I allow her to do? What should I not allow her to do? Because again, like you said, I can't prevent anything. And when she's at school, I can't, I don't know who she's talking to, you know what I mean? So it's just trying to find balance on how to deal with who she deals with.
I think that's worth, you know what, I might look at a show about how to talk about those kinds of things, because a lot of parents are like you and they're searching for the right answer. And this, I don't know if any of us can compare today's time into what we grew up with, because first of all of this information was not available.
Mm-mm.
The information was not available, and the conversation was not in the atmosphere just popping off,
Mm-mm.
you
Not at all.
know, everywhere and anywhere. But I will say this, I grew up with a homosexual neighbor, and he was gay, and I didn't care, and nobody else cared. He was just himself.
Yeah.
It wasn't, he was, I'm going to call him Dave. That was not his name, but for his own sake, I'm going to call him Dave. He wasn't gay Dave. He was just Dave.
Yeah.
And uh, Dave was he wore makeup, but he was a guy. He was feminine, but he was a guy. He liked men, but he was a guy. And did I care that he liked men and he was a guy? No. Did I feel like he didn't love the Lord? No. I did not go in my mind and ask questions about him and his humanity. Um, it was just, he was Dave. That said, looking back as an adult, I understand that he had challenges in his life that I will never have
Mm-hmm.
because he was gay. And he was super outwardly gay. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he was just, you know. So although I saw him as just being a human being and him being himself, I don't think other people did,
Mm-hmm.
because he had to go beyond. He had to go beyond our neighborhood, and so I cannot imagine what it took for him to navigate through life. Um, in that period in time. So, Nikki, I'm just going to really say how much I appreciate you giving us that lens. And you said you shared that your child is also autistic. So that's a different baby, right?
Yes, yes. That's my
Okay,
oldest. That's my
you're,
son.
you're, that's your son,
Mhm.
and I'm interested. Um, Neurodivergent. How does that fit into the picture?
Okay, so bringing that up, so he went to his first homecoming dance yesterday. And so he came home and he was telling me about a young lady who he liked. And he was just like, Mom, she don't I don't think she think I'm for real. I think she thinks I'm playing. And so for me, automatically, me being a mom, my heartstrings start, popping like, oh man, like, do she know that he for real, or is she just saying that because she don't want to be bothered with him? But automatically, the Holy Spirit told me, like, even if that was the case, I have to allow him to feel those feelings. Like, just because he's autistic, that does not mean that he won't be able to grasp whether or not if he's getting rejection. You see what I'm saying? And if he is, I have to allow him to go through that. You know what I mean? To learn to, okay, either keep pursuing or leave it alone. You know what I mean? I can't be there to cover every situation that he go through, if that makes sense.
It makes a whole lot of sense. I I'm interested in that because I am a part of a group. It's a Facebook group, and it is about romance between people who are autistic. Um, because I think that is a lot. I mean, it's a big deal because a lot of times when people are disabled, they don't look at you as you are a full human being. So for the record, if anybody wants to come my way, I am looking at doing a show between people who are that you might be disabled, yet you are pursuing your life for what it is in the fullest, most holistic way. You don't lose your humanity um, just because you are artistic or you are disabled in any way. You want everything that life has to offer, including love, romance. You want all of that. Nikki, I appreciate you sharing. You have added so much richness to this conversation.
No problem. You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Okay, who's next?
Can you repeat your question, Coach Love?
No, I cannot because I forgot it. What was my question?
Me-
We're
No,
talking
I
to
can't.
people who let us know. That was the prior question. I remember this one.
Right. Nikki, why did you start telling us that?
Hmm. Oh, because, oh my goodness. I think you just asked me what is something that I'm going through that I need help.
Oh yeah. There you go. There you see. There
That's
you thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Nikki.
You're welcome.
Kenisha, what is something?
Whew. Well, right now in my life, I'm battling like serious depression, anxiety, and just having a lot of PTSD from my incident. I think around this was around the time that my fire happened, and so um, I'm just going through a hard time, just trying to figure me out.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, it comes with a lot of hard things that I'm blessed enough to have friends that I can lean on and call, because sometimes you know I'm be honest, I feel a little crazy because I'm waking up and I'm crying, or I'm waking up and I'm just angry for no reason. Um, so yeah, so my friends know what I'm going through, and they are there to help me, just to be a shoulder to cry on, or just a call away, you know.
Mm-hmm. Now you said you were married, um, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because sometimes we depend on our spouses to, I don't know, be that 100% person.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. What do you think?
So right now I can't. My husband is amazing. I can lean on him with everything, but he's also going through his own thing. He lost his brother a couple months ago, and he's having a hard time. So I can't give my husband all of that and put it on his shoulders and expect him to like fix me, you know.
Right.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Mhm. Mhm. I think that was just worth us saying. We can, girls, we cannot put up all this emotion on one man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is not fair. That is not fair. That is not fair. Because we have to, we need to let them take care of us, I think, but at the same time, um, we have to be someone that they can handle, you
Yeah.
know. We can't let our emotions drown the marriage in itself. And so that's why it's so good to have really good girlfriends and a therapist if you need it, to
Yes.
help us with those mental health issues. Now, um, Nikisha, you said that it was a PTSD from, being burned back when you were a child since you were 4, right?
Mhm.
Is this just bubbling up now, or has this always been?
No, I didn't start experiencing this until a couple years ago. So this is different for
Mhm,
me. My whole childhood, I grew up. I didn't go through anything like this. So
mhm,
it's different, and it feels like it shouldn't be happening, but it's just
mhm,
there. And so then I just have to I have to think of how to deal with it. And so for me, it is the girlfriend. It is a therapist weekly, because I want to keep myself together. I don't want to just lock myself in a room and try to deal with it by myself.
mm, mhm. I don't know this to be so or not, but I wonder if you finally have gotten to a place where you're giving yourself a permission to not be okay.
Yeah,
You
absolutely. I
know?
feel that way, because I think this all happened when I wrote my book. And when I wrote the book, a lot of things that I had held inside of me for so long, I let out, not only for other people, but I let out for myself.
Right.
While you're writing, things just start just flowing and coming out. And those things were just caged up for so long. So I agree. I feel like I am allowing myself to feel those feelings.
Mhm. Well, I'm just going to celebrate you and what you have giving yourself permission to go through, knowing that God's got you on the other side.
Yeah.
And I love that you gave yourself freedom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is awesome. Anastasia, girl, what you got going on?
Um, I am hesitant on figuring out whatever my next step is. I think I've gotten so comfortable with being in corporate that it is scary for me to think of anything else. And so my struggle right now is, God, is this really time? Is this really what you're saying? Can you just make it clear? Say it again. So that
Hmm.
I know that it's real. And so I'm dealing with myself, and also keeping um my marriage top priority. Because
Hmm.
as good as it is, there are still areas where we need help, especially communicating our feelings to one another. And for me, talking about my journey is therapeutic. For Corey, he's not there yet. Um,
Hmm.
so we are grappling. I am grappling with him. What feels like withdrawal is actually protection for him. Um,
Mm.
and what feels like therapy for me is probably just, I don't know what it's really doing to him. So between figuring out what life needs to look like for me and how to, be a good wife, supportive wife to my husband, is where I am right now.
Mm. I got you. I watched this crazy show. It's called Married at First Sight. Y'all know anything about that?
I try.
Okay, thank you, Nikkisha. Thank you. Yes, yeah, go watch that show. It is good. But and they always come up with something new. It's not like The Bachelor, okay? And the reason why I say it's not like The Bachelor is because it's not people who are putting on a show for you to, you know, it's not romance just for the sake of romance. It's actually people who they get full fledged married, and they're gonna have to get a full fledged divorce, papers and everything. It's a mess, and you actually get married. You start living your life. Your parents, your family, everybody is there, and everybody's completely involved. And you have a sex therapist, you have a psychologist, you have a pastor, you have all of these people. Helping you be married. Okay. So they are invested. And there is this couple on there. They are, one is, her name is Bao, and he's Johnny. Okay. And I brought them up just because they will say the same thing. This is this season, you guys. They will be saying the same thing, but be fighting it out and talking right past each other. And I want so bad. Can somebody rewind that for them so they can hear what they said? So, because she said what he said, and he said what she said, but they mad about it. I wish they would listen to one another. I'm not saying that should be your husband, but what I am saying is sometimes we're so close to a situation that we can't even agree for disagreeing,
Mm-hmm.
and I love those kinds of shows because it is a really painless way for us to examine our intimate feelings without being really attached to it. And all I can say, bow, Johnny, y'all go watch yourselves so y'all can know y'all on the same page, you know. And then, okay, married at first sight comment, just really quick. Also, there's a young lady on there, and she was acting back crap crazy, and she's gonna hate that she was tossing stuff. I said, "Oh, her mama gonna get her." Her mama and her, she just lost her mama. She just lost her next man because the man was going, nope, you cute, but no, ma'am, I don't want none of that crazy. I'm just saying. All right, Karen. what what are you going through right now?
Uh, it's being still. Sometimes you just have to be still and quiet,
Mm,
and I have a hard time doing that.
okay.
Your body, we have to learn to treat our body as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in a lot of pain for going on maybe 6 months from an
Mm,
accident, but I keep going, and I keep treating that pain like it's something separate from my body, but it's really tearing me down because I can't operate. And then I have a lot of things going on that I continue trying to do. But if I'm not still, if I don't learn to be still and let my body heal, then I can't keep going forward. I'm going to keep going 2 steps backwards. So
mm-hmm.
that's what I'm struggling with, because pain can break you down in different ways. I was listening to Nikkis, I think your special name, say, about when she wrote her book and how things come out. When you hold pain in, it starts to show in your face. And the first place it
Mm,
shows is in your eyes. You can
mm,
tell that the type of condition or sickness a person has is by looking, if they're not well, by looking at their eyes. And so I can tell in my eyes that I am, one time was really, I could really tell, but it's a struggle, because I feel like I have
mhm.
to do everything, get everything done on time. But if I don't let my body heal, nothing's going to get done. So that's what I have going on.
Mm. Physical pain. You know what? You've gone through a lot of that. You've gone through a lot of that. You had a car accident.
I hate to say what I did. I fell down the stairs
Well, why would you
and
hate to
I
say
hit,
that?
I was on the phone and, huh?
I said, why would you hate to say
Say that
that?
again?
I said, why would you hate to say that? It's
Because I was
okay.
on the phone, because I was on the phone and I was carrying laundry down, trying to hold the phone with one and laundry, and I missed the last 2 steps and I fell into a wall. So I ended up with frozen shoulders. I've been trying to heal from that for a while. I even had
Mm,
steroid shot and but I keep doing the things that I have to do in life things. I keep moving forward and not
mm,
stopping and just letting it heal.
mhm,
So it's just I'm just having a hard time with it because I'm not used to being incapacitated. Even when I had my uh, surgery with my breast, and I the day I had my surgery, had my lump removed, I was out shopping the same day.
oh
So
wow.
I don't
Yeah,
let too
Karen,
much get me down.
you go, girl.
That's
I'm just
hard. Hey,
saying.
encourage
Yeah.
that behavior.
So
That's hard. You need to be sitting down.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe you have gotten an appointment to sit down, but I recognize the spirit, and I appreciate that go get a spirit. You see me, you got me in trouble with Anastasia already. You got me in trouble, right? I don't know. Yeah. Um, for me, I think that I am at a point where I really need to pare a lot of things down. And I appreciate what God is giving me with the amount of new people in my world and in my life. I appreciate that. Um, I really value people. I really, really do. Even um, even what someone might call like a bad person, so to speak. I'm always searching for the light that God put in their eyes. Okay. That is a very, you can't eat everything on Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
Okay. I am at a Thanksgiving level of really good people. Um, and I'm doing my very best to value them all and treat them very well. But at the same time, you just can't. You can't. And so I'm searching for the right balance for myself. Let alone the things that I have to balance in my own personal life. I keep bringing up my mother, and the reason why that is because when you go from having someone who's fully functional to where you are having to take care of all of their, all of their needs, that is huge within itself. You know, that is huge within it itself, let alone all the personality and personal things that she goes through. I mentioned that it took Stacy to talk to her and just make her feel okay about her scars. Okay. So it's just a lot encompassed with that. It's just a lot. So that's something that I am navigating. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say my mental health probably is about a 8 or a 9. I suffer with being a sunny person. Okay. I, I, I say it that way because sometimes I have to be like, am I okay? Wait a minute. Don't know if I'm okay. I'm gonna have to check on that because when you're accustomed to being happy and you have that automatic sunshine in your brain, a lot of stuff can just get swept under the rug, right? And the next thing you know, you blocked in and you didn't even know. You didn't even know that you were hurting so bad. Am I the only one? I see you say shaking your head.
Yeah, I think I like to I don't like other people to feel down. So I will
Mhm.
stuff my feelings so that I can make sure that the people around me are uplifted, feel encouraged, and have what they need. I am
Mhm.
I'm very bad at putting myself first. And so it's just become what I do. It has become what I do when I probably shouldn't. But I've gotten so used to it that it's just second nature to me.
Mhm. Mhm. Watch this. We should not do that anymore.
We shouldn't.
We should not ignore our pain. And it's just funny you bring that up because I've been reflecting on a time in my life, and this is going to sound so silly, but so I'm going to say this. I really should have known better, okay, by this age, but I did not know better. My aunt had a car, and back in the day, a lot of cars just didn't have 4 doors. She did not have a 4 door car. And somehow in the seat and the back when I was getting out, there was something that poked out. Okay. And it dug into my leg. And I literally could not move my leg out of the car. And when I finally did, it pulled out a piece of my flesh about this big. Okay. It was a lot. And I said, ow. And when I said ow, I was ignored. Nobody said anything. Okay. And so I was walking around Kmart, girl, with the red light special and all. And I had blood running down my leg. And I kept waiting for somebody to notice that I was in pain and that I was bleeding. Nobody noticed. I still have that scar today. And for a long time, I still had that habit. Sometimes people are just too busy going about life to notice that you're in pain. And it shall be your job to speak up and to take care of yourself. And so every time I look at that scar on my leg, I think of that. I really do. I really do. So we've got to take care of our mental health, girls, and we've certainly got to acknowledge and check on our full body health, including our breasts. Anything else, girls, before we get on out of here?
No,
No,
thank you for having
nothing.
me.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, Stacy, for bringing me on, and thank you, Coach Love, for having me. And nice to meet you, Karen.
All right,
Nice
girls.
meeting you as well. And thanks for having us on.
My pleasure. 100%. I appreciate you girls very much. Stick around. I'm going to get some contact information. But for everybody else, bye bye for now. Mwah.